Hello, my dear students. How are you? Today we are going to study a new lesson, Unit 8 of Grammar, Question Tags. So, what is a question tag? It is a short question at the end of a statement. Question tags are used when asking for agreement or confirmation. For example, you are a student, aren't you? So, you are a student is a positive or affirmative statement. But I want to be sure about what I have said. So, I put a question. Aren't you? So this is called a negative question tag. I want to be sure that you are a student. So that's why I am using that question tag. So look at the structure of the sentence. We have started with an affirmative of a positive statement, and we ended with a negative question tag. Is it clear? Okay, look at this example. John isn't a doctor. Is he? So John isn't a doctor is a negative statement. So I am saying that John isn't a doctor, but I want to be sure or to confirm what I have said. So I will use a positive question tag. Is he? Is he really a doctor or not? So that's why we use question tags. So if you start your sentence with an affirmative or a positive statement, you use a negative question tag. But if you start your sentence with a negative statement, you finish with a positive question tag. So, the first example, you are a student, aren't you? So you here is a subject pronoun that comes after the verb to be. Are is the simple present of the verb to be. At the second example, John isn't a doctor, is he? So he here, as a subject pronoun, is used to replace John or the noun. So we cannot say John isn't a doctor, is John? So we'd rather say is he? Here are more different examples of question tags used in the simple present or in the simple past. She was happy, wasn't she? Was is the simple past of the verb to be. So was is an affirmative form, and wasn't is a negative form of the verb to be in the simple past. So, like we said before, whenever you start your sentence with an affirmative or a positive statement, you finish it with a negative question tag. You speak English, don't you? So speak here in the simple present. And normally, when we want to ask someone if he or she speaks English, we use the auxiliary do. So, you speak English, don't you? He studied for the test, didn't he? So, studied is the simple past of the verb to study. It's a regular verb. So the question tag on the negative form, didn't he? She doesn't have any children. Does she? So she doesn't have. It's a negative statement. She doesn't have any children. So the question tag is, does she? My brother didn't go to school. Did he? Jack is from Spain. Isn't he? So, like we said before, the idea behind using the question tag is to be sure to confirm what we said before in the first sentences. For example, Jack is from Spain. So I think that Jack is from Spain, but I want to be sure, so I use the question tag. Isn't he? Please go back to your student's book on page 92. There is an exercise A. Thank you for your interest and listen. Bye.